Hello friends, welcome to C Sharp Intermediate to Advanced tutorial. Now you are watching part 2 of the video C Sharp StatusStrip Control. In this video we are going to learn about the example and we will also see the form design. So in the previous video we looked about the basics of the C Sharp StatusStrip Control. Now we will look about the example. So here if you see we have compute summation group box. Inside this we have a text box. So here we will input a number between 100 and 1000. There is no validation and we will make sure to give a number between this range. And once you click compute summation, it will display the added number or summation of the number here inside the label. So the label is not displayed or not visible here, but we have a label here at this location. So the purpose here is we are simulating this as a long running task. That means we will definitely go with a loop and we calculate the summation, and inside each loop we will give a 10 millisecond delay so that it will look like a long running task. So as you see here, computing please wait. That means when summation is going on and we made it or we simulated it as a long running task, a status message will get displayed here. So this status message tells or the system is busy, it is doing something. So that's how the user will see by looking at the status. So when application is not doing anything, we will see a message idle here. Instead of seeing computing please wait, you will see idle. And here there are 3 status slot. One is here and another one is here, this one, and this is the third one. So the default will tell what is the border style, and if you select sunken or edged, so those will get displayed in slot 2. So we can say this is a slot 1 and this one is slot 2 in the sense of status slot, and this one is a slot 3. So there are 3 slots. And since we talked about this border style, if you see, once you place a check mark here, we will be changing the border style of these status slots. So at present we cannot differentiate the slot, right? So once you change the style, you will see a differentiation between 3 slots, and these status slot border styles can be applied to any 4 edge. Here if you see, this is edge 1, edge 2, edge 3, edge 4 if I take only this particular slot. So when user places a check mark here, stop, whatever you selected, if we selected edged, then edged, and let us say we selected top. So in this case, yeah, border style will get applied to the top portion of the slot. So this is the top portion, right? Likewise. So left means the style will be applied towards the left edge. All 4 side means, so if this is the status label, the border will be applied to all 4 side. So we can apply as well as revoke. So once you remove the check mark here, the style will be removed on the top side. So if I remove the check mark here, alright, likewise you can do for left and all 4 side. Then comes the render mode property. Here we will see how to set 2 different style for our status bar. So this is the system default style, and we will see how it looks when we apply the render mode to professional. Next we will look at the spring status label. So label 1, label 2, that means label 1, and this one is label 2. The spring status label will help in expanding the slats, and if you see, 3 slats are finished here and this space is left empty, right? So that's what this spring will do. So we can span the label 1 and label 2, that means we can stretch so that it will occupy the unused space. Suppose if we place a check mark only here in status label 1, then status label 1 will occupy the remaining space. So the orientation will not change, the label will expand and the size will get occupied here, and from here status label 1 will occupy. So if you place a check mark here to status label 2, then both will share this remaining space and this space is fixed. After that, whatever remaining space is available, that will be shared between status label 1 and 2. So that's what we are going to explore in this example. So this is just to mimic the long running task. So you may find this kind of situation in your application that occurs often, and you may need to display the status information. So the long running task may go in different stages also. So here we can display a status label A, status label B and C in the long running task. Alright. Now let's go to Visual Studio and look at the set of controls required and its name. Remaining design stuff you can do it yourself. So here is the status bar. And here if you see, this status control is from the menus and toolbars group. So you can simply drag and drop the control here. In the next video we will see how to add a slot, status slots and other controls. Now let us look at a set of control names. So this is the first group box. Inside the group box we kept two label. This is a label 1, this one is label 2, and then we have a text box and we named it as a txt input. Then we have a button and we named that as btn sum. After that we have a render mode group box. Inside that we have two radio button, RAID R mode system, RAID radio R mode render mode system, that's how we named it. Then RAID R mode professional. So there are two radio button and we named both the radio buttons here like this. And after that we have a border style. This is one radio group. Inside that we have one more radio group. So for the border style radio group we placed two radio buttons, and one is RAD sunken and RAD edged. So these two will help in laning the applying and revoking the borders. So once you select these two, then you have to select the radio buttons, I mean the check boxes, CHK top, left or all four sides. So we can test the selected border style and apply that to top portion of the slat. All three slat we will apply, top or left, or we will test that with all four side, the selected border. There are many borders available, we took only two here. Alright, so control names, if you see, CHK top, CHK left and CHK all. For spring label, for these checkboxes, the control names are CHK spring LB1, chk spring lb2. So that's the name of the control. Design, you can choose whatever design you want. The control names will be useful. Why? Because during the coding we will refer this control name, and when we share the code snippet, you can easily copy paste and study. Otherwise you have to rename the controls or make adjustment in the code to read your own name. I mean, if you doesn't name the controls as shown here, then you have to make changes in the source code. That will be shared later in the next coming videos. So that's all here in this video. Thank you for watching. Bye.